a company like Arsenal is important to him. A strong, healthy financial position or situation, as he says, is everything.
And just on West Ham Millwall, we touched on earlier, they should have played behind closed doors and put it on the telly, says Elaine in Tamworth. Right, let's find out a little bit more about Liverpool and say a very good morning. He's the editorial director of ArabianBusiness.com and reports that a Saudi prince is set to buy a very big stake in Liverpool as our old friend Anil Boyrul. Anil, good morning.
Morning, Anil.
Hey guys, how are you doing? Hey, first of all, let's be clear, Arsenal are going to win the league very easily.
Anil, you're having a laugh.
That kind of money. No, I'm having a laugh.
Yeah, well, is Arsenal right not to spend any of the money then, as an Arsenal fan?
Yeah, I think he's right. I mean, look, we're fifth in the table. We had two very unlucky defeats, even though it was 4-1, whatever, with Man City. But we're playing the best football in the Premier League.
Not won a trophy for 4 years, though, Anil. Come on.
Our time has come, hasn't it?
Yeah, why is a Saudi Arabian prince not buying into Arsenal and buying into Liverpool?
That's a good question, actually. Probably because he can't buy into Arsenal, because nobody will sell him the stake.
Who is this chap?
This is Prince Faisal, one of about 10 million very rich people in Saudi Arabia. So I think it's a Liverpool thing. I mean, it's a typical Arab thing that Arabs want to buy football clubs where you need somebody who's going to sell you one. There aren't that many going in that sense, and there are big clubs going. Liverpool is available, or at least half of it seems to be available.
Is that what he's looking? I know. Is that what he's actually looking to perhaps take 50% of the stake?
Yeah, I think what they want to do is you've got to realise in the Middle East, and you've been out here, football is massive. It's such a huge brand. So if you can actually own a club or have a stake in a club, you can use that, leverage it to do all kinds of things with football academies, shirts, products, friendly games. I mean, I think Man City is coming out in a few weeks to play a game. And that just makes you even more money. This is a business thing. I don't for a moment believe Prince Faisal will know the history of Liverpool, or that they've won 18 titles, or they haven't won a title for 20 odd years, or whatever. He looks at the figures, and if you go on Forbes magazine, Liverpool is ranked as the fourth biggest football brand in the world.
I know. What level of wealth has Prince Faisal got? What level is he at?
It's in the billions. It's very hard to put an everything.
Well, I'm sorry, for the life of me, I cannot take somebody who's worth over $1 billion would want 50% of something. These guys don't take 50% of anything. They have all or nothing.
It's a very good point, actually. And I think that may be a sticking point, and I think it's going to be a very big sticking point if you can't get the whole thing. And you say, I was actually at dinner last night. The CEO was last night, and the only conversation at the table was football. Really? And that came up. Everybody was saying, why is the guy only trying to buy 50%? Sure. It's got to be 100. And if you look at the Man City deal, it was 90, and now it's 100%. The Portsmouth deal was 100% takeover.
Will that go ahead, Anna? I need to talk to you a little bit about Portsmouth. Liverpool deal, this is massive, but Pompey fans are pulling their hair out.
I know they are, and I have to tell you, I was actually having dinner last night with the chairman, Sulaiman Al-Fahim. He was at the same event I was at. And I just spoke to him 10 minutes ago, and he says, the money is there, the 50 million quid to reinvest in the club. I guess I can understand why they're pulling their hair out. There's 7 straight defeats. But you got to look at it from this side of the world, and again, I was at the same event as him last night, and he was being treated like a hero.
Sulaiman Al-Fahim, again, what level of wealth is he at, Anil?
Not in the billions. Certainly not anywhere near Prince Faisal. I mean, you're talking the hundreds of millions. And for Sulaiman Al-Fahim to buy a club involved bank loans and all kinds of other kind of wheeling and dealing around the side.
And is that quite simply why it's taken so long?
Absolutely. I think with the Premiership rules now, that you have to declare where all the money's coming, it does make things a bit more complicated, because people in this part of the world don't like to reveal what they're doing. But he has strung it together, and Peter Story saying he's seen the documents. I do my own views. I believe I've spoken to him enough about it. I don't think he could even make something like that up. But I think the problem, of course, is they've lost 7 games. It's going to be a struggle. But you got to look at the other side. There's only 20 Premier League clubs in the world, and he's got one of them.
And what about, we read about perhaps academies to be set up. What is the standard of football now in the likes of over in the Middle East?
it's very, very low, very poor. But the idea of academies and other things is really looking 10 years ahead when the Middle East wants to put together some kind of World Cup bid. If you've got Man City and Liverpool and, even Portsmouth, other teams very closely linked here, and they're coming out here 2-3 times a year to play matches, linking themselves, bringing a feeder for new players and that kind of stuff. It's all part of the 10-year plan. I know Qatar and the UAE is certainly interested in some kind of attempt to stage a World Cup. And that's what they're thinking.
What about the Man City owners? Are they happy with the way things are going at the moment?
Well, they are now, because they're winning a lot of games. But I think with Man City, Man City are in a different league to everybody else, because all these other investments, even Prince Faisal, certainly Sulaiman Al Fahim, there is a limit. Even though these guys are rich, there is a limit, and they'll probably fund it out of some kind of bank loan. Man City is totally funded by Sheikh Mansour's money. He's cleared all the debt.
So it's a bottomless pit, Anil, is it?
That's the best way to describe it, yes.
Brilliant.
Wow.
Anil, thank you for bringing us right up to speed. What's happening around the world in the Middle East in terms of football clubs. So Pompey fans, fingers crossed this will happen sooner than later.
He knows his stuff, that guy, as well, doesn't he, Anil? His fingers on the pulse right there. He said he could.
But Ronnie makes a good point now. If this guy's got that much, this is the Prince Faisal, why would he just want 50%? Interesting. 2 minutes to 8 o'clock on TalkSport.